Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we started up the season simulation, and I think we also made a trade sending Moritz Seider to the Colorado Avalanche. So currently we have the Dallas Stars first round pick, and as you can see, they're not in playoff contention as well right now. So I'm hoping that becomes a lottery pick down the road. We are going to be making some more trades in this episode just because this team is simulating a little too good with the way our roster is set up. And I do have a potential trade that I'd like to do with Dylan Larkin involved. The reason being is because we got a comment from HawksFan88 again. He says, I think you should trade away your better older players like Lundestrom and even Larkin if you want to tank. So, yeah, Lundestrom, he probably has low trade value is the only problem, and he's not signed to a big contract, so I mean, we could move him, but I don't think we would get much back for somebody like him, because for some reason he just did not want a lot of money in the free agency. So, what position? Yeah, he's center. Oh, he actually does have a decent chunk of value now. He used to only have like a really tiny amount of value, but his value's gone up a lot, so we could definitely deal him probably like at the deadline. But the Dylan Larkin deal I have planned out is actually pretty good. It's kind of a questionable trade. We're going to actually do it right now just because it will help us tank a lot more. But it's with the Los Angeles Kings, who are literally playing the same day out of this trade, which is kind of interesting. They're 27-14-1 on the season, and they actually want Dylan Larkin involved in their roster. But the only problem is, you can see, they'd be way over the salary cap by $6 million, right? And we would be under the minimum salary cap at that point. So at this point, it does not make any sense, right? But there is one player on their team that has a horrendous contract, but it's only for 1 year. So this will help us free up cap space immediately once this player goes to free agency. And that player is Drew Doughty. He's signed for 1 year at $13.205 million, which is absolutely insane for an 80. We'd probably use him as a depth defender. And yeah, that's all we would use him for, just because we just want to take back that salary cap hit. But as you could also see, Los Angeles would be over the league maximum salary cap for the next season. So that's when we have to start adding other pieces to this deal. So right now the trade value is heavily in our favor, but this wouldn't go through as is. We'd have to take back like a roster player that would make up for Larkin losing or moving. And this player, 80 at 23, he doesn't got a lot of value, but he does have like okay face-off. 70 is not bad for a winger. He's not really a centerman, but still this guy could be a future like fit for our team. And yeah, we don't have a lot of forward prospects, so I think this guy's a good guy to bring in, and he could just jump into a roster right away, and then we could like swap around the lines a bit, maybe move Valeno up. And then we'd also have to add in a lot of other pieces to this deal, just like a first round pick, obviously, but they don't have a first rounder for this year, which is kind of questionable, but at the same time, it's okay because we don't really want the first overall pick this year because it's a defensive heavy draft. So maybe next year there'll be a good forward we could snag with this pick, so we're going to add that as well. And I'm going to also try and snag a third round pick from this year as well into this deal. The value looks pretty even on both sides to me, and I think this should go through. It just makes LA just barely cap compliant, so this deal is pretty good. I think we only gain like another extra $1 million in cap hit, but we do lose all this $13 million once the free agency hits, because we're not going to be re-signing Drew Doughty instead of keeping around Dylan Larkin for another 4 seasons after this one. So I think this is a good deal to do, and I don't think we could add anything else to this deal. I'm going to just try and add as much as I can to this deal, because Dylan Larkin is pretty good. We'll add also another third rounder just to see if that makes anything else happen. So 2 third rounders, a first, Petrovic and Doughty. Will this go through? And that is accepted. Okay. They thought they came out ahead, but I think we got the better end of that deal, because we don't have to deal with Dylan Larkin's cap hit for the next few years. Yes, it sucks to trade away somebody like Dylan Larkin, who's been with the team since the beginning, but I think it was a good deal for our team to make, just to free up some cap space going into the offseason, because we want to be attending to our younger guys first. So, okay, so what are we going to do with our lineup? Lindstrom's actually a center, so we could play him as a center, which is good. We can move Yolonen up. We could leave the fourth line the way it is and then throw in Petrovic, who's a sniper. Okay, That gives a little chemistry there with Suzuki and Kravtsov. I actually like that. Okay, so yeah, that trade might have actually been a pretty good one for our team. Yeah, Drew Doughty's just going to be a depth guy. He might complain about ice time because he's a top 6, but I don't really care. Tuppurainen's still out with injury. We could actually throw Doughty in over Chisholm. Is Drew Doughty actually a good fit here or not? I'm not going to be bringing him back for sure, but I don't know if he's a good fit. Okay, he's actually a balanced fit throughout our entire scheme. So yeah, we'll just use Drew Doughty as our depth guy instead of Declan Chisholm over the year. I don't think Drew Doughty will do as much favors, but you never know. And that gives a veteran for bigs to play with and maybe learn about how to play a bit better. Even though Doughty in real life, I say, is a real defensive liability, but I think that's all we want to do in terms of our lineup. But yet, I think that was a good trade for both teams. I think it makes a lot of sense for us just to free up that cap space going into the off season, and then LA also. Yes, they take back a lot of salary cap, but also they do get a good first-line center in Larkin that could help them potentially go on to win a Stanley Cup this season. So that is our big blockbuster trade. We still might trade Lundestrom at the deadline, and yeah, maybe some other guys, maybe like Kubalik too, if we can. But we'd probably have to take back some salary cap as well in those deals. So let's advance to the trade deadline. We are still like 2 months away, I think, or just over a month away. Just let's continue to tank and get the rest of the season done. Tuppurainen's already back. That's good news. I like that. So Doughty's not going to make his NHL debut, but that's okay. Not his NHL debut, but his Detroit Red Wings debut. Not that it matters, because he's just a depth guy for us. Tuppurainen back in. That's good. But yeah, this team shouldn't play that good now. If they play better without Dylan Larkin, that is really concerning. We do lose to LA there. I wonder if Dylan Larkin came on the scoreboard there. Newey is back for the AHL team. That's good. Hopefully the AHL team could maybe win a Calder Cup this season, because then at least it looks like your future is somewhat bright, even though we don't really have a lot of good offensive prospects. How are we winning 3 games in a row, though? What the heck is this? I might have to trade away Lundestrom sooner. But this team should not be winning as much. Veleno's been injured, so that should help us a lot in terms of losing games, because that's our top line center now. Ukulati is back for the AHL. That's good news. Take out this defenseman that was playing top line center minutes for some reason. There you go. And Joe Veleno is back. That's good news, kind of. Alvin Gru was playing top line center. He had 2 assists in 3 games. Not a bad depth guy, I guess. There you go. And there's another win somehow. Okay, I don't even know how we won games that month, though. Because after the Larkin deal, we lost mostly every game, but we did win 3 games in a row at one point, and we won against the Canucks, and we're still just above 500. I do not want to make the playoffs this year, but we're still in a wild card spot, which is really concerning at this stage. And we're only 1 point above 2 teams, the Flyers and the Hurricanes, so we might fall out of that spot soon, which would be good. But yeah, I don't know what is simulating too good on this team right now. Actually, I should check how that youngster is doing on that third line. Even though he's only like 23, yeah, he's already 23, so he's probably not going to become a top 6 forward. He still looks to be pretty solid. And he's got 7 points in 11 games since joining us. Wow, okay. Not really what I was expecting. This guy's pretty solid. Yeah, he's not that bad for his overall. He's got some good shooting attributes, so maybe this guy becomes a power play player for us like next season or something. Like him and Guerin are both our best winger prospects, I guess you could say, because we don't really have anybody in the system. Okay, let's go right to a day before the deadline, just so we could kind of get ready for what's ahead. And Veleno's been injured again. Wow, okay. I'm okay with Joe Veleno getting injured, and now Alvin Gru's been injured, which means a defenseman's going to be taking top line center, which I don't really care about, because this team just needs to lose as much as possible. And Linder's been injured. Holy crap, that's 3 straight injuries. The injury bug hitting us at the right time. And we're still winning games without them, though. I don't even get it at all. Like, Drew Doughty's playing top line center, yet we're winning games. How does that make any sense? So it's only Linder that is back, which means Chisholm could come out. But yeah, how the heck are we winning with Doughty as our center? The sim engine is so annoying. Like, we should not be simulating this good. We're staying right around 500. Like, I don't know why we're having such a good season. Like, we're probably going to end up having, like, a tweener pick unless we win the draft lottery somehow. 64 points. The last playoff team has 65. Like, how are we in the race? Like, I don't even know. Maybe it's Lundestrom and Kubalik. Lundestrom has 31 points, so yeah, he's probably getting dealt at the deadline for sure. And then Kubalik has got 39 points, so yeah, maybe that second line's doing pretty good. Or Petrovic's just being way too good since he came in. 16 points in 22 games. He's doing a lot better with us than he did with LA, which is a good sign. How's Doughty been? 5 points in 9 games as a centerman almost. What the heck? Is he taking face-off still? Wait, yeah. Oh, his face-off percentage. He actually won face-offs though, which is ridiculous because his face-off stats is a 55. Okay. So we are a day before the deadline. Yes, we are. Let's just think about who we want to put on our block. This episode might be a bit long just because we do have to make quite a bit of trades. And I'd like to get to the draft lottery results in this episode just because that way you guys could kind of get me ready for the draft. So we're going to take all those guys off and we're just going to throw on some older guys. So guys like, like Lundestrom for sure, Kubalik, and maybe that's it. Because everybody else is not very old on this team. This is a really young roster. Like Zadina might be the oldest one afterwards. Yeah, Zadina's the only older one after that. There's all the guys we signed, but I don't know if we're going to be moving them away. And we'll put them on there anyways, like people like Norris and Yolonen. Just because we're going to put all our older guys over our young guys, obviously. And anybody else that we could put on the block. I'm not putting Zadina on the block because Zadina's been pretty solid. We'll just put Kratzov. And then surplus, anybody that's older than 26. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And wants anybody that's younger than that. But we're going to adjust this to making it not defenseman because I do not need any defenseman. I don't know why the game thinks I do. I like younger, I have a young defensive course, so I don't really need it. Let's just go like that. For goaltending, and then defensively, I don't think we really even need a goalie though because our goaltending prospect's good enough. It's our starter at the moment. And we'll change one to forwards because we don't have any good forward prospects really at the moment. And we'll go medium as well, and I don't want to go defense. I want to go forward. There you go. I don't know if we're going to get any offers thrown at us, but who knows. Current picks, we'll take first, seconds, and that's pretty much it. And in future picks, we will take first rounders, second rounders. Actually, we'll take third rounders as well. Just to see if we could get any good offers thrown at us at this deadline. And we'll probably go in as a seller. Yeah, just a seller, I think. Because we are rebuilding, we're not trying to win. So yeah, let's advance a day and get into this trade deadline. See if we could move out some pieces and then tank the rest of the year. I'm probably not going to last the entire trade deadline. So I'm probably just going to sit there for a bit and make a few trades and then advance afterwards. So yeah, we'll just go up full out seller and enter trade deadline. Okay, so what's out there? Morrissey, Connor, my god, my voice is dying on me. I sound like I say Conacher. Kotkaniemi, Ryan O'Reilly, Ristolainen, Strome. A lot of kind of like veteran guys. Nobody that we really need, but let's go find trade and see what we could get for somebody like Lundestrom. Because Lundestrom's probably not coming back. A second and a third from the Blackhawks. I think I'd be willing to take that. That's the only deal that's offered for Lundestrom, but I think I'd be willing to take that. Let's take a look at it. Maybe it went for Kubalik. No deals found. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Kubalik might not get dealt, but I'm okay with that, I think. Yolonen for 1 year left. 2 third-round picks. A second and a third from the Kings. Damn, the Kings really want everybody from my team. How about... who else do we got here? Kratzov has no value. Now, there's already been a trade alert. Gabriel Carlson for some Yakupov guy. Okay, so I'm gonna just deal Lundestrom at least in this deadline. So yeah, we'll just make that trade with the Chicago Blackhawks for a second and a third. Gives us some more picks in the draft. We have a ton of picks this year. Like we have I think now this will be our 4th second round pick and maybe our third. So we will accept this deal. Best of luck in Chicago, Isaac Lundestrom. That did call up 2 players to our NHL club, which is really weird. Okay, so what do we got now in terms of players with age? Yeah, Josh Norris has no value, so I don't think we'd be able to really get much for somebody like him. And what about for, what's his name? Yolonen. Yeah, Yolonen has a good value. Maybe we could find something good for Yolonen. Oh yeah, the second and a third, or the third and a third. Either we get a second and a third for next year. We already have LA's first for next year. But more than likely they're going to be a good team next season, so... Is Arizona even a good team? Or no? They're around 500. I don't even know if the third round this year is that good or not. You know what, I'll just accept this one because we've already made a trade with LA, so Yolonen for 2/3. Bang. Yeah, this team's going to have a rough go after making these moves. I think that's pretty much all the moves we're going to make, though. Just because Kravtsov and Norris, they all have like very low value. So it's like almost impossible that we're going to actually get something good out of these deals with them. And might as well just hold on to them for the year. Because they're better to have on the roster instead of like Laddie, who for some reason got called up. Probably due to the injury bug that we've had. But yeah, I think that's all the trades we're going to make. Oh, and Calgary traded away their Mika Kiprusoff prospect. Damn, that's a bummer. I thought they were going to play with that guy for a while. But let's just take a look at our roster quickly. Anybody that's overperforming, Kubalik's been pretty good, but I don't think we're going to be able to get anything for him, which kind of sucks. Because he does have one more season at 7.58 now as his cap hit. Minnesota trades a second and Bannister for Liam Foudy in a 4th and a 5th round. Yeah, I think we're just not going to make any more moves. I think that's good enough. Because that should help us tank a lot by moving around in 83 and moving our 85 centers. So, yeah, I think that's all the moves we're going to make already. A little bit of a short deadline, but I want to get the rest of the season done, like I said. So, we're going to have to make adjustments to our lines. So I'm going to quickly do that, and I will see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so our team took a pretty big hit though, but with Larkin being, or not Larkin, who is it, Veleno being out with an injury, our team looks pretty bad in terms of center. Like now our best center is Josh Norris at the moment until Veleno comes back, but yeah, this team took a big hit, and then Laddie and Sadikov had to get called up because of, I guess, the roster stuff, so I guess we'll let them play, even though they're only like 76 overall. Maybe that will help them get into the NHL at some point. But yeah, these guys didn't pan out, unfortunately, because they were second round picks. But yeah, our team looks pretty interesting, I should say. Let's move actually Guerin back up for a second. Yeah, we'll do something like that. This 4th line is pretty bad though. And then defensively we still have our good young guys, which is good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, let's continue with the season sim. We should be a lot worse now with those deals until Veleno comes back. Veleno, once he comes back, will help us out a lot, but I don't really want to win, so let's get the rest of this regular season done, and then we will probably also sim to see where we're drafting, just because I want to kind of find that out already. So that way you guys could kind of know what we could potentially get at the draft. So, and well, how did we just win 3 straight games? And Veleno is back, which means we're going to have to send down somebody. So I'm going to send down Laddie. He does go through waivers, which is kind of questionable. Actually, I'll send down Chase Pearson. Yeah, I'll send down Chase Pearson. We go minimum cap. We go below cap if I have to send down Chase Pearson. Damn, we're right on the border of the cap space. So we have to send down either Laddie or Sadikov. So I'll just send down, which one's 77 at 77. 23 though, and 24. Okay, I'm gonna send down Sadikov. Actually, I'll send down Laddie. No, I'm gonna send down Sadikov. Doesn't work. How do I even do this? I might have to go. Yeah, we're kind of screwed cap-wise. Yeah, we are screwed cap-wise. I'm gonna have to let the computer auto-assign fix this problem, because right now we can't send down Laddie without going below cap. Actually, maybe we can. No, we can't. Because it's not letting me go up. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the computer to auto-fix this. Auto-fix my roster, please. Who are you gonna send down now? Oh, they had to send down Tupperainen. I don't like that. But we might have to play with that. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to deal with that for the season, sending Tupperainen back down. Because or else we can't be cap compliant. But Tupperainen is making 1.29, which kind of makes no sense. And he was playing pretty solid up here. I'll let him play the rest of the year down here. Alright, just to kind of get him maybe ready more for the NHL. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Even though I don't really like sending down guys that have potential, we'll just let Drew Doughty play in our lineup for the rest of the season. It's just because I don't know how else to fix that problem. Because that was quite the problem we just had. And how are we winning so many games? Stop winning. Stop winning. And Listerte's been injured. Okay, good. But how the heck did we just win 5 games in a row? This team is not even good. I hate this game sometimes because you should not be this good that you're almost making a playoffs with a team that has an 81 center. Just makes no sense. Like, we're literally just outside of a playoff spot. We're definitely not going to get first overall unless Dallas fell apart. But this is not good. Let's go to the 31st. Please don't win games, boys. Oh my goodness. We actually might be a playoff team. We just won multiple games. Yeah, we're back in the playoffs. Everything I do, this team just still somehow gets in. If we somehow win the cup this year, though, that's friggin' ridiculous, though. We have 87 points. The next closest team outside of the playoffs has 84. We are literally close to clinching a playoff spot without Dylan Larkin. Like, we traded away Dylan Larkin, and this team is still winning. It just does not make sense. I also trade away Lundestrom. This team still wins. I trade away Yolonen. We still win games. Really weird. It's like the sim engine is scripted though or something. Because I feel like once you have a really bad season with a team that should be better, you end up winning a lot the next season. Did we make the playoffs or something? I'm seeing morale stuff on the top. No, we did not yet. Please don't win games, guys. And if we do just barely miss the playoffs, hopefully we get first overall. But if not, well, actually we don't really need first overall, but still. Rohan House has been injured, so there's our starting goaltender gone. At least we have a lot of goalies in the system. Mui would not go through waivers. Is he playing right now? I don't even know. Or is Eliason playing? Eliason might be playing. I think I'll call up Mui. Yeah, I'm going to call up Mui. But, yeah, this is not good. If we make the playoffs and somehow... like, I want to win the Stanley Cup, but at the same time with this roster, this team's not going far in the playoffs, so it's really pointless. We'll throw in Lorentz instead, because Lorentz needs some time. Oh my goodness. We just beat the Flyers. Did we just clinch a playoff spot now? We did not yet. So it comes down to this final game against the Sens to see if we make the playoffs, and they're a bad team. 91 points. The Devils have 89, so the Devils need the win and we need to lose. And then I think we miss the playoffs if that happens. Please lose. Give me a dead L. Thank you. But we still made the playoffs. I swear, I tried to actually put together a good team, and they missed the playoffs. I don't try to put together a good team, and we actually make the playoffs. It's completely dumb, the sim engine sometimes. Holy crap. Well, we're going to be a first round exit. I'm just going to tell you that. Unless this team somehow wins the Stanley Cup, I have no hopes for this team at all sometimes. Oh my god. Okay, let's take a look at our player stats for the season and do a season wrap up and then see who we're playing in the first round, which we are probably going to get swept. and then we're not going to even get a good lottery. We're not even going to have a lottery pick unless Dallas missed the playoffs and LA's pick for next year. Like, if we end up having to play LA in the playoffs at some point, like in the finals, we're screwed. Dylan Larkin's going to tear us up. Okay, so in terms of the standings in the entire league, we finished 15th somehow with a 41-32-9 record. I don't even know how we made the playoffs. Like, we allowed more goals than we scored. 2.9 goals per game, which was one of the worst in the NHL. Goals against per game was actually pretty good. So we were a really good defensive team, but we still made, like, we just didn't score a lot, but we still made the playoffs. I don't even get it. 2.98. Power play percentage was one of the worst in the league, I think. Yep, 17%. We allowed 8 shorthanded goals against. Our penalty kill was actually really good too. So at least there's some good stuff to take away from the season, as our defense improved a lot. Home record, not great. Road record was not too bad. And we're 6-4 in our last 10. We're definitely getting swept in the first round. Oh, so Zadina led us in points with 75, and then Guerin had a 70-point season. Okay, so maybe it was Guerin's breakout year that helped us a lot, because he had 26 points in 57 games, and then his first full season, 38 points. Then this year, 70 points. And that's also after the fact that we got rid of Larkin. So, really liking that. And he actually has good chemistry with Eric Petrovic, who we brought in from the LA Kings, which is kind of interesting. Suzuki 54, Kubalik 53, Veleno 44. Wow, he actually only played 62 games, but still kind of a rough season for Veleno. Petrovic 42 points this season, but 25 of them were with us. This guy's looking kind of bright for the future, even though he's already 23. Kravtsov 28, Wall 28, minus 13, Biggs had 25, Norris 23, Melanson, Olinder. Lazerte 19 points in his first season, and even 0, okay. Drew Doughty had how much points with us? 12 points in 22 games. I wish I would have been able to play Tuparainen, because we probably wouldn't have made the playoffs that way. Because Drew Doughty might be the reason we made the playoffs. Savonin 10 points and a plus 11. That's actually really impressive on a team that didn't make the playoffs. Or did make the playoffs, but didn't have really good goal scoring. Chisholm had 9 points. Okay. And holy crap, did I just see that right? Laddie had 6 points in 7 games as a depth guy. 5 goals and 1 assist. Damn, this guy's good for a 77. Goaltending wise, Rohan House had a really good season. So we're having some good bright spots for our future, but I didn't really want to make the playoffs right away. But Rohan House with a 912 save percentage and a 2.86 goals against is pretty good. And then Jake Ettinger did an okay job as a backup. Let's take a look at the entire league. Yeah, this episode's going to be over 30 minutes. Entire league-wise, Pasternak led the league with 105 points, and then Jack Eichel there with probably leading in goals. Yeah, Jack Eichel and Ovechkin led the league with 53 goals. Ovechkin had a 53-goal season at 41 years of age, which is like insane. He's already at 1,040 career goals. Okay. How about defensive points? Rasmus Dahlin is going to win or maybe Kreutzer is going to win the Norris. But either way, that's that. Goaltending wise, Carter Hart had the most wins, him and Samsonov and Georgiev. Most shutouts by a goalie was Saros, Hart, and Georgiev. Best save percentage by a starter was Hart. Best goals against by a starter was Hart. So what a surprise, Hart's winning everything. And then best rookie this year was Brett Harrison with 47 points, and Caden Ricci and Joshua Wall behind him with 44, and Hervonen with 41. What about rookie goalies? Out of curiosity, this guy won 19 games. That's pretty impressive for a rookie goalie. Okay. Let's take a look at... do we want to check anything else out in here? Probably not. Okay, let's take a look at who we're playing in the first round. Actually, we should take a look at our prospects, how they played this year as well. Yeah, this episode is going to be a bit long, but we're taking on the 54-24-4 Washington Capitals. Yep, we're getting swept. I could almost guarantee you that. Their record recently was not great, 4-4-2, but they're definitely going to beat us. So let's take a look at what they have in their roster, and then we'll take a look at our prospects. and I'll show you guys also the draft class again just in case. But yeah, we're probably going to be a first round exit. So Brady Tkachuk is in Washington. That's kind of weird. Evgeny Kuznetsov and Matt Duchene. Really weird top line. Okay. Alex Ovechkin, he just had 53 goals, even though he's only a 77 overall. But yeah, he's going to be pretty insane in the playoffs, I would assume. Nick Cousins and Connor Brown. Yeah, this team looks really weird by comparison to what they would have looked like at the beginning of this franchise mode. Hartman, Elias Anderson, and Kreider. And then Evander Kane, who's battling debt. Jujhar Khaira and Jordan Martinook. So Jordan Martinook was with us last season. But yeah, this team, and they don't look very impressive for their overall. Like, I know Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Tkachuk, Duchene, maybe even Connor Brown could play good, but the rest of it's not that bad, or not that great. Like, they have better wingers than centers, I think. And then defensively, okay, maybe this is where they're a bit better. They have Noah Hanifin and Nils Lundqvist, so Nils Lundqvist not that great. But Gustafson's pretty good offensively. Provorov is really good. And then Mitch Ranke and Michael Vukojevic. How do you pronounce that? Vukojevic, I think it's pronounced, or something. He's also on that top 6. Goaltending-wise, they have Samsonov, who's probably really good. Yeah, Samsonov is a rock-in, probably really good in the playoffs, too. And then their backup is Laurent Brossoit. Scratch-wise, they have Ethan Del Mastro, who I have no idea who the heck that is. Isaac Ratcliffe and David Krejci, and Tyler Myers is currently out with an injury. Yikes. Yeah, so I think we're probably going to get swept, but you never know. Maybe we'll put up somehow a fight. But still, we're not getting a lottery pick because of that. But I think I'm in a bit okay with that because there's defensive heavy draft, but at least we have some other picks in this year's draft, like a lot of picks. Progress reports. Let's just take a look at this system. Go by this. Actually, let's just go by overall wise. So Matthews only went up by a bit, but he had a pretty good season. 98 points again in 55 games. So he missed some time, but he put up the same amount of points. He's going to be in the NHL probably next season. Stewart, 76 now. 17 points. Pretty solid rookie season in the AHL. And that's pretty much it, I think. Just scroll through this so you guys can see that. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to round 1 against the Washington Capitals, where we're more than likely going to get swept because this team just should not have been a playoff team in the first place. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.